What up, players? It's WarbossTae up in his mug. Today we're unboxing Typhus, a Finecast figure for the Warhammer 40k Chaos Space Marines army. So for those of you who don't know the fluff, Typhus is the first captain of the army known as the Death Guard, or he was during the Horus Heresy, and then he was on a ship that went through the warp, and lots of bad stuff happened on it, and when he came out, he looked like this, and he was all unhealthy, and he worships the plague god Nurgle. So looking at the Marine itself, it's a Terminator Space Marine, so it's on one of these larger size 40mm bases. And let's take a look at the body. So gross. The tricky thing with Nurgle is, and I mentioned this before, especially with Finecast, you can't really tell what is supposed to be like corrosion in the armor and what is just poor fine casting results, but I don't see any mold lines, or there's some cool like bullet hole or corrosion right there. This is gonna be fun to paint up. Nurgle's rot and Typhus corrosion, can use a lot of that in it. This looks like the back part looks like a fungal bone mushroom growths coming out of the back of his Terminator plate growth. He's got a little Nurgling here that hangs out on the front of his base if you want to paint him up. Holding on to a bone protruding out of the ground. It's cute, look at that little fella. And paint him up, give it to my lady boss. The other sprue is the giant Man Reaper scythe he's got. So yeah, I just kind of took this guy out of the clamshell, so I'm not really sure. I haven't had a chance to look to find any bad mold lines or air bubbles, but we'll see in the second half of this video after I'm done putting him together. This looks like a bad piece of flash right there on the back of the helmet. That probably isn't supposed to be there. That's easily cut and snipped off though, and you know, considering how bad some of the Finecast has been with the flash, all the little webs leading from the frame up to the piece, this is not so bad. All of these look like easily clippable. The bad thing with these Finecast figures is that the flash usually has lots of little tendrils going from the frame and connecting it to the model. And this one doesn't seem to have too many, so we'll go off now and we'll build it up and we'll show you what it looks like when we come back. And we're back, and this is what he looks like all built up. Just using the Zap-A-Gap did not work by itself, so what I decided to do was use some of the putty that I use for the cork that I mount my models on. Here in America it looks like this, Scotch removable mounting putty, and I think in the UK or overseas it's called poster tack or blue tack. But it works really, really great. You get just a little bit and you use it to kind of stick between the two pieces, like over here where the gauntlet meets the arm, and it sticks it well enough that the super glue will dry around it. So I highly recommend that. I think that's a great way to make your pieces stick together when super glue just isn't enough. Even after you've washed your pieces with some warm water and liquid dish soap, which you're supposed to do anyways to clean off the mold agent, I found that just gluing the model together wasn't enough. So there you have it, Typhus, first captain of the Death Guard, Chaos Space Marines. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Latest, players!